Hello everybody and welcome to a different type of show today. Today I'm going to be doing like a fix-it type video. I like to tinker, and with being under pretty much house arrest from the state of events in the world right now, I figured it'd be good to go through my project list, find what I have to do. And so we bought this drill about a year ago. It is called a Miller Falls Company Dyno-Mite. It's really old. I don't know when they made it. I probably should have done some research beforehand, but I didn't. It has this cool like trigger on off. There's a little button down here. I have no idea what it's there for, but as you can see, it is just, it needs a new cable and a good general cleaning. So that's going to be the task today. We're going to clean this up. First thing that I'm going to probably do though is figure out where the separation line is to get the cable out. And it looks like it's going to be these two screws. Alright, so that is going to have to be clean. Look how dirty that is. Okay, went out and got a couple more tools. Got ourselves a wire stripper, some needle nose pliers, and some wire cutters. Alright, first thing I want to do is I want to start cleaning up this bit. That looks so much better. So the next part that I think we should do is maybe this front bit. So let's get that taken apart. Oh, look at all that grease. Yum, 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 yum. I should have known about that before I even did this, but that kind of just turns this into a more complicated video. That really should be replaced. Well, I'm going to go and do that for a little bit, get this stuff cleaned up. Then I'll come back and hopefully these two will be clean, in which case then we will replace it with this white lithium grease. A couple years ago, I repaired a fan that's about 20 years older than this drill and used this in it, and it's been working flawlessly since then. All right, now that I got most of these pieces all kind of cleaned up and degreased, look at that. Oh, looks beautiful. I'm going to take and go over it with a isopropyl alcohol Q-tip to get all of the little bits that I was not able to get with the toothbrush. All right, this piece is now cleaned. On to the next one. I think I'm going to leave the little bit of grease that's still in here because it really shouldn't harm anything, and there shouldn't be any chemical reaction mixing with the new grease. So it should be fine. Now this one and this one are now complete. And it goes like this. But I can't pack this right now because it has to be attached to the main body of the drill, of which that is the next thing that we have to clean. Now this is going to be a chore. I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take it outside. All right, cool. So that just happened. So there's two magnets in here and they just popped out, and now I have to try to get them to go back into their little holders. It doesn't really matter. I mean, Yep, I'm gonna go take this thing out and spray it down. This I think should be good. So I can take some isopropyl to those magnets. I'm not gonna decoil or anything. It's just gonna be a basic clean. So I went outside, tried to do some compressed air, and realized that it needs really to be taken apart some more before I can really do anything with it. So I'm going to try to take these magnets out and here and here, um, the switch, and then this like magnetic coil pack. Hopefully they will come out with no issues, but we will find out. I mean, this thing is super old, so who really knows? The last one that I did actually was pretty nice, but I did not go as in depth with its clean. I kind of just left it the way it was in a lot of ways. Alright, so the black one goes on the bottom. The gold one goes on the top. Not sure if there is an actual reason for it, but I should probably remember that. Alright, but now the switch is out, so that can be cleaned separately, and I think the rest of this is free enough that we can pull it through the main body. Oh yeah, look how just dirty and dusty that thing is. Ugh. I have to go wash my hands before I click pause. So what I'm going to do with these pieces is I'm going to I'm going to clean up this with some isopropyl. I'm going to take this over to a bucket of hot water with some dish soap. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do for this part yet, but it might be a combination of both. So yeah, I'll be back after I get these pieces cleaned individually, and then it'll just be ready to reassemble at that point. Look how great that turned out. Still have a little bit left to do on it. I got to do some of the isopropyl stuff. So let's get into that right now. Beautiful. Oh, that looks so nice. Pew, pew. Set those aside. Now let's see. What do we want to do next? I think I'm going to try to do this switch intact. I don't want to take it apart any more than I need to. So it should be basically just a wipe down with the isopropyl. So what I love about taking things apart like this. It's going to be super difficult to see on the camera, but on the top of the switch here, it's like a wood plastic. It's a it's a piece of plastic with a wood grain on it. Like you just wouldn't see that on stuff today. But I think that this is good. Set that down with the other pieces. I want to work on the motor or the motor inner, but I think I should work on the motor housing. I have no idea what to do with this. So I took it outside with some compressed air. Kind of took it off a little bit in flakes like a sandblaster. So I'm thinking that the rest of it should come off fairly easily. Would not have even known that was brass under there. So what's left is the inside of the motor here. Just have to do the inside and then can move on to that. All right, it is now time to start putting this thing together, I think. First thing we got to do is start off with this piece. And I need to feed this in here. Which way? I think this way. Yep, just check the video and it does go this way. Oh, that looks so nice now. Screws in here. So I was thinking about it, and I think I am going to reuse this. Because the other connections on the switch and the ground have easy screws to get to. So if ever I had to change out the wire again, it would be really simple. Whereas right now, that's not the case. It's very difficult if I was going to go with my original plan of soldering the wire down. So I think I'm just going to leave it. Next best thing is probably to get this put back in. To do that, gotta get this. There we go. And then that sits there. Now I can put in these magnets. But I can also clean these, because these are pretty dirty too. The way that I envision this build, or this kind of restoration, I guess, is that this is like somebody's from like the Fallout universe, like some mechanic, but they actually like really like taking care of their stuff. So they're making sure that they take it apart every now and then to make sure that everything's nice and clean, even though it's got like the tough battle scratches, like it's been through stuff. That's how I envision this. Okay, and we had, if I remember correctly, black was on the bottom, and then gold was on the top. There we go. And now we can do the top one. Though I am going to make sure that it was gold on top. Yep, just checked the video and it is gold on top. So that's what we are going to do. Okay, I am going to get a little bit of machine oil to just put on there. Because right now you can hear that. Sounds a little bit rough. So I'm just going to put that in there. Hopefully that will solve that, be a little bit more smooth. So I got myself some Singer all-purpose machine oil. I actually use this quite a bit. I use it on mostly on my projectors. Got a couple 8mm projectors, and they're like from early 20s, and I use this stuff on them, and they work fantastically. It also might sound a lot better once like the front half of it is on, because right now it's like not totally balanced. Next part would be, so for this next step, we're going to be using this white lithium grease to pack this and this. Now that should be like that when it's done. Do you want to get some more down? I love this old kind of stuff. I use it all the time. Like, it's just amazing. I love this stuff. Ah, shoot. That actually might not be too bad. Yeah, having a little bit of grease on the ball, because I believe that is supposed to act as like a ball bearing. So then that should go like that. And now, time to clean these, because these are the next step. Now then this. Should fit onto there, and then oh, everything's coming apart. Okay, that goes like that. Then we'll take the short one to the bottom, and the two long ones in the corners. That goes back to there. Now, let's see. So comical. Okay. So now, pretty much the only thing that is left to do, oh, we gotta put this thing back in. That looks pretty clean as it is, so I'm just gonna put it in as it is. This is a trigger to keep it on. So now the only thing that's left is to bring out the new cable, which I have right here. I got a power supply cable. This is usually for like dishwashers. All that's left is put this on here. Let's see if I can. All right, now we just have one final test. Now, I'm not going to touch this thing. I'm just going to have my hand on the cable, just in case, like, I want to be able to make sure that it's actually going to work first. And there you go. So that was the bring back of this like wicked cool drill. We brought this thing back to life. All right, everybody, I hope to see you again in the next video. See you later.